Hello, Renee here. I'm here today to demo a card that we are doing at my church for a ladies' night. I want to thank all the ladies for coming tonight who are watching this. And if you're watching this later, there is a coordinating blog post down below. There's a link, and that'll have links to all of the supplies that I used, as well as measurements for all of the papers. So feel free to check that out. And if you have any questions or anything, just go ahead and leave those in the comments below as well, and I'll get to those as best I can. So ladies, one of the kits that you have in your packet today is for the Balloon Monkey Happy Birthday card. This actually is one of my favorite cards. Go ahead and take everything out of your envelope, put your envelope to the side. You don't need that right now. And you're going to have your card base. You can set that aside. You have your pieces for your inside, and they'll look like this. And when we get to that, I'll talk about that a little more. And then you have all of your pieces for the front of your card. So you have this dry embossed piece of green cardstock, and I don't know if you can really see that. There you go on the camera. I embossed this, I dry embossed it with my Big Shot using a darice polka dot embossing folder. If you want more information about how this is done and you'd like me to do a video on that, go ahead and leave me a comment below and I'll do that for you. Otherwise, just go, if you want to learn more about dry embossing, just type dry embossing in the search window for YouTube and you'll get videos from all kinds of wonderful people that'll show you how to do it. You also have the sentiment circle that I've pre-stamped for you with our cute little balloon monkey and happy birthday. You just put that aside. Then you also have these two rectangles. One is white and the other one is our pattern paper. Really cute design. I love this pattern paper. It's from close to my heart. It's called Kaleidoscope. And I'll show you what we're going to do with those. And then you also have another piece of that paper, and it's cut into a banner, and here's a white piece as well cut into a banner. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do. So the first step that we're going to do is we're going to adhere this dry emboss piece to the card base. So go ahead and get your dry emboss piece and your card base. Keep your card base so that the fold is on your left hand side. And then you're going to go ahead and take this and apply your adhesive to all of your edges. Now, because this piece is embossed and has this texture, I always recommend using a little extra adhesive. You don't have to do this on pieces that are not embossed, but if you're adhering an embossed piece down to something or you're adhering something else to the embossed piece, always use a little bit extra adhesive. The adhesive that I'm going to be using today is a tape glider. It's called the Scotch Advanced Tape Glider ATG gun. You can get these. I got this at Hobby Lobby with a coupon. They're a little bit pricey, but if you find yourself doing a lot of card making or a lot of scrapbooking, it's a really good purchase. It'll save you money because those little adhesive runners, like I've included for you in your kit, those can get a little pricey if you're using them a lot. Another type of glue that you can use if you like to be able to position things after you put them down is something like a Tombow mono multi liquid glue. This is a really good glue because it gives you time. It does dry fast, but not so fast that you can't adjust things. There's also another type of glue called a Scotch Quick Dry adhesive. This one is also really good. I prefer the Tombow because it has a smaller tip. You don't want to use a lot of liquid glues when you're working with paper because your paper will start to bubble if you put too much on. But this is a really good option if you like to move things around after you put them down. But today I'm going to use the ATG gun. So you want to put your adhesive as close to the edge as you can without going over. If you do go over, it's not the end of the world. Just rub that glue right off. You want to make sure that you don't have any glue showing up in the front of your card because then it'll stick to your envelope, it'll stick to other things and maybe in your envelope, stick to people, stick to your dog, everything. So take this, again, make sure that you have your card going in the right direction. And you're going to place this down and leaving yourself about 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. If it's not perfect, don't worry. This isn't a machine making this card. This is a person making this card. It's a homemade card. So there you go. So you can put this to the side while we work on the pieces that are going to go on the front. Okay, so Then you're going to take these rectangular pieces. This is step 2 of the instructions that are provided in your kit. And I'm going to use this green part as the front. So I'm going to put the adhesive on this other side. And in this case, because it's so thin, I'm not going to put anything on the top and bottom. I'm just going to run 2 strips. And that should be more than enough to keep it adhered. Now on this one, what you want to do is you want to center it top to bottom, but on the far right hand side, you want to put it right up to the edge. Okay? So it'll look something like that. Get that a little closer so you can see, because the color is a little off. Unfortunately, my lights are a little too bright. Sorry about that. So go ahead, get your card base, and you're going to adhere this piece to the right side, lined up with the right side, so that it's even, and then about 1 inch from the bottom of the dry embossed layer. So using my handy dandy little ruler here that I just love, I will just put that right there, and then I'll know exactly where to adhere this piece. So go ahead and put some tape runner along the 2 edges. Again, it's a small piece, so don't worry too much about getting it on the top and the bottom, but you will see that I did go a little bit too close to the edges, so just rub that and it'll take that extra adhesive right off. Okay, so line this up, and I'm going to be as careful as you can. Again, you don't have to be perfect, but do try to do your best. Okay, so we'll glue that down and push that a little harder than you normally would, because you've got that texture behind there with that dry emboss piece, and you want to make sure that it's really stuck down. Okay, so you can set this to the side and then grab your two banner pieces. Now in this one, I want this really pretty multicolor to show, so I'm going to put the glue on this other side. So again, get your glue as close as you can, and sorry, my tape gun is squeaking. Every now and then that happens. If you have one of these and it's doing that, I've heard you can put some Vaseline here in the middle, just a little bit to get it to stop squeaking. And again, I put a little bit of extra adhesive here in the middle. Actually, I didn't need to do it on this piece. Gotta love it, like live television. But I will do it on the white piece. So you want to line this up right along that top edge and center it from side to side. And you should end up with a piece that looks like this. Okay. Now this is the one that I want to put a little bit of extra adhesive on the back, because it's going to be adhered to this emboss part. So we'll go ahead and add some adhesive here. And then in the middle, and then in a little bit down each one of these sides. And that squeaking is annoying. Okay, so in my instructions, I told you to place this bannered piece about 5/8 of an inch from this left. Here we go. This is our left side. Feel free to turn your card any way you like to be able to get your pieces laid down, but for you, I'm going to go ahead and sit it so you can see it a little bit better. 5/8 is about right there. Again, you don't have to do exact measurements. Feel free to put this where you like it, where it looks good to your eye, and go ahead and adhere that down. And you want to make sure that you're getting this top part lined up straight, and then the rest can just fall right on down. So there you go. That's what it looks like so far. So the next step, we just have one more thing to do to adhere our sentiment down. So here's your little sentiment. There's a couple ways you can do this. You can use foam squares. You can use, let me show you what I like. I like to use these foam squares here by Scrapbook Adhesives. 126 pieces in a pack. They're not real expensive. I get these either at Hobby Lobby or Joann. They both carry it. So you can always do that and raise your sentiment up a little bit. But today what I'm going to do, because we've got so many layers and this card is getting a little thick already and I plan on mailing this in the postal service, I'm going to go ahead and adhere it flat. You do need to be cautious when you are creating your cards not to make them too thick, because the postal service does charge extra for postage for those cards. So go ahead and give yourself some tape. Again, I'm using a little bit more than I would normally use because we're going to adhere this to a dry emboss piece. Okay, and then you can just sort of eyeball where you would like your sentiment. I think that looks nice right there. Make sure my happy birthday is straight and just press that down. Okay, awesome. So there's the front of our card, all done. We're going to do the inside now. So go ahead and grab those two pieces I told you to put aside. And now you get a choice. What you're going to do is you're going to layer this like this, and then you're going to place it inside your card base. So that finishes out your card, and it gives it a little extra care. It shows a little extra care was taken with your card. However, you can do this side up, or you can do the green side up. Now, because I have so much green on the front, I think I want to use this multicolor side. So that's what I'm going to do. So place your adhesive on your sentiment panel, and you could do several things with this panel. If you know that you're going to write a lot, you might want to just leave it off for now, do all your writing, and then glue it in. That way, if you mess up, you just flip it over and you can write on the other side. Also, if you're going to do any stamping, I always like to do my stamping before I adhere things. Just in case I mess up, I have the other side I can use and I'm not wasting the paper or having to pull things off and possibly tearing things. So again, this goes just like the front of the card where you're giving yourself that 1/8 of an inch edge all the way around. If you're making this for yourself from your own paper, feel free to cut it whatever size you like. If you like a bigger border, if you like less border, and you don't even have to put this on the inside at all. Feel free to just write in your card as it is. I just prefer to have that little bit of extra, and it doesn't add anything to the postage as long as the front of your card isn't real tall. So you go ahead, open your card, and go ahead and adhere your liner on the inside. And there you go. The whole card is finished. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them down in the comment section, and I will get to you as soon as possible. Thanks, and have a great day.